Hot hatches, they're a relatively simple formula. You take a small, inexpensive car on one hand and a larger, more powerful engine on the other, and you mash the two together. There's a trend that was kick-started by both Volkswagen and Peugeot with their Golf and 205 GTIs, and there have been plenty of variations on the theme ever since. Take the rally-bred Subaru Impreza WRX and even the high-revving Honda Civic Type R. And now there is this. It's the Hyundai i30N. Now we know it's going to be the first in a long line of N-specific and N-tuned models. And in this review, we're going to tell you what it's like to drive, what the interior is like, how much stuff you can get in the boot, and how much it'll cost you to buy. The i30N is based on the regular i30, but the body shell's stiffer, there's a removable brace in the boot, you get big 19-inch alloys, the suspension's been tuned for road and track, and of course, there's a lot more power. The i30N has a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, which makes 202 kilowatts of power and 353 newton meters of torque. And there's even an overboost function that'll bump torque to 378 newton meters for about 18 seconds. Despite all that power and torque, the i30N doesn't exactly try and snap your neck off. In fact, around town, it feels just like any other i30, and that is that it's quiet, it's comfortable, and it's easy to drive. You're kind of left wondering what all the fuss is about. That is until you get out of town and you find a nice twisting back road. This thing absolutely comes to life in the corners. Now the i30N is a global car, and that means it's got to work well in every market where it's sold. Over the cars we get here in Australia, well, they're a little bit different. You see, the N engineers handed over their toolbox to a team of Australian engineers and let them fiddle with the suspension and steering to tune the thing to suit our roads. And we're the only country that's been allowed to tamper with the formula. And the Australian engineers have done a really good job. The steering is well weighted and direct, the grip is vice-like, and the ride is firm but not hard. In fact, there's a compliance to the ride that makes this thing one of the best riding hot hatches in the market. Now, despite having several drive modes, we reckon that normal is probably the pick of the bunch, and that's because it offers the best in terms of steering feel and ride quality. The interior is pretty basic and it's very black. There's not a lot of embellishment going on in here, and beyond the odd scattering of some N lettering, there's not a lot to tell you you're in the hot shoe model. Unless you opt for the luxury pack, you'll get cloth seats as standard. They're manual adjust only, but they do hold you in all the right places. And if you've got longer legs like me, being able to extend the base means that you've got a little bit of extra under thigh support. Now there's good storage inside the cabin. You've got a little bin here at the base of the dashboard with charging outlets. You've got cup holders in the middle here. You've got a center console storage, your glove box over here. You've got a sunglasses holder in the roof. You've got door bins with inbuilt bottle holders. Now in terms of connectivity, you've got this 8-inch infotainment screen. It's touch sensitive and there are shortcut buttons around the outside. It's got native sat-nav and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. It also allows you to get into the bowels of this car via the N mode button. I press that and then I hit custom again. It allows me to start adjusting things like the engine, the exhaust note, and then I can even play with the chassis setup. If I press steering, I've got a choice of normal, sport and sport plus. Now be warned, if you do start playing with this stuff, there are 1,944 variables. Now I'm 6 feet tall and I've got enough headroom and I've got enough leg room. But because these front seats are a little bulky, you don't get quite as much room here in the back as you do in a regular i30. You also don't get any charging outlets or directional rear air vents. But don't panic, because there are pipes underneath the front seats that will keep hot or cold air coming into the back. Round here at the back, the i30N offers a fairly decent boot. There's more than enough room for the weekly shop or luggage for a family. Now it's not quite as roomy as a regular i30, and that's because of the removable bracing bar. Now there's a space saver spare hidden beneath the floor. If you need a little bit more room, you can drop down these back seats. They're 60/40 split fold, but be warned, when you're through loading things, that brace will get in the way. Now you can remove it, but that kind of defeats the purpose of it being there. The i30N retails from $39,990 plus on-road costs. Gets Hyundai's standard 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and it also gets capped price servicing. You can also get a luxury pack for the model, which adds things like leather seats, and that'll cost you $3,000. There's also a luxury pack with panoramic sunroof, and that'll cost you $5,000. The i30N might be Hyundai's first proper performance car effort, but it's a good one. It's got all the usability and safety credentials you expect from the brand. It's wrapped up in a vehicle that sounds, looks, rides and handles just like a hot hatch should.